This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. Last night's presidential debate gets huge ratings and stirs up controversy. Donald Trump is still refusing to release his taxes. And the Miami Marlins honor late pitcher Jose Fernandez by retiring his number. Hello, I'm Janette Alvarado.
And I'm Partida, and welcome to Matador News. Last night's debate may well be the most watched debate since 2008. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump took the stage at Hofstra University in New York in their first face-to-face meeting in 2016. Nielsen ratings data says the debate was rated higher than the first debates in 2008 and 2012. Clinton says she felt great in delivering her message and explaining her policies.
We had a great time last night, and I have to say I was thrilled that I got a chance to lay out some of the middle-class economic policies and pro-family policies that I've been talking about throughout this campaign to all the viewers who tuned in.
Trump commented on Fox News saying he went easy on Clinton. Trump says he will hit harder in the next debate set for October 9th in St. Louis.
Now let's go to Matador News reporter Mabelynn Gutierrez for more on the debate.
Members of the CSUN community watched last night's presidential debate like everyone else. Social work professor David McCarthy Kaplan believes Secretary Clinton won the debate.
In the debate last night, she did a pretty good job of addressing those things. I felt like she touched on it with a little bit of grace and a fair amount of recognition of some of the issues that she's going to have to contend with should she be elected. And I felt like her opponent, Mr. Trump, didn't quite have the same sense of understanding or awareness around those issues and seems to have a little bit of a greater difficulty connecting with communities of color.
But others didn't feel the same.
As of right now, I'm not 100% sure. I still want to do some more research on everything. I want to make sure, with our given right to vote, I want to make sure I'm doing the best I can to give what's best for our country and not just do a rash decision based off, oh yeah, I was raised Republican. No, I want to make a logical decision based off of research that I have, based off of my own opinions and desires and beliefs.
Now let's go back to Partida in the newsroom with more on the debates.
Trump's comments about his tax returns are one of the biggest highlights from the last night. During the debate, Clinton questioned Trump about withholding his tax returns from the public.
The only years that anybody's ever seen were a couple of years when he had to turn them over to state authorities when he was trying to get a casino license, and they showed he didn't pay any federal income tax. So if he's paid zero, that means zero for troops, zero for vets.
After the debate, Trump told a CNN reporter he does pay federal tax.
I didn't say that at all. I mean, if they say I didn't, it doesn't matter. I will say this. I hate the way our government spends our taxes because they are wasting our money. They don't know what they're doing.
Over the past 40 years, every major party presidential candidate has released tax returns. Trump says he will release his tax returns when a routine audit is complete and when Clinton releases her emails.
Beginning October 1st, North Carolina will have a new law limiting public access to police body or dash cameras. After the September killing of Keith Lamont Scott, protesters demanded the release of police video footage. Police Chief Kurt Putney eventually gave in. With the new law going into effect, videos will no longer be considered public records. In the future, officers will have more discretion in deciding whether or not they should release any video footage.
Thousands of Iowans have been evacuated due to 4 days of flooding. This could be the most devastating flooding in the state's history. The Cedar River is currently 23 feet high. Some 10,000 people had to leave their homes and businesses. Authorities say the curfew will remain in effect every night until the Cedar River's levels have receded. The National Guard sent 400 soldiers to help the residents clean up and protect homes.
Professional football player Colin Kaepernick has gained a new following for his silent demonstrations against racism. A football team of 11 and 12-year-olds protested during the national anthem in southeast Texas. The players didn't stand up at Beaumont's Austin High School in support of Kaepernick's protest. Their coaches also knelt in support. As a result of his participation, the head coach was suspended.
A New York City fire chief is dead today after a suspected drug lab exploded. Police say firefighters were called in to investigate a gas smell and found the drug lab. Police found propane tanks in what seemed to be a hydroponic marijuana growing lab. The gas was shut off and the NYPD evacuated the building and others nearby. The building exploded about an hour later. Battalion Chief Michael Fahey was standing on the street when a piece of debris from the building hit him on the head. Fahey was a 17-year New York Fire Department veteran and leaves behind 3 children.
Now let's go to Lexie Smith for the latest in sports.
Fans are invited to gather at the Miami Marlins Park on Wednesday for Jose Fernandez's final memorial service. The Marlins organization paid their tribute to the late great Fernandez Monday night against the New York Mets when they retired his number 16 jersey. The superstar pitcher's death has been felt throughout baseball. Marlins owner Jeffrey Loria says nobody will wear number 16 again. Second baseman Dee Gordon led the game off with his first home run of the season, sparking the Marlins' 7-3 win over the Mets. While Gordon held back his tears crossing home plate, fans established a makeshift memorial outside the ballpark entrance. On Sunday morning, Fernandez was killed in a boating accident. Yesterday, 4 signed baseballs and Fernandez's checkbook were turned into a lifeguard approximately 1 mile from where the boat crashed in Miami. Miami police are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. Golfing great known as the King, Arnold Palmer has died at age 87. According to a statement from his company, Palmer died at a hospital in Pittsburgh while awaiting cardiac surgery. Palmer won 90 golf tournaments, including the Masters 4 times, and became the first person to make $1 million playing golf. The King even had a drink named after him, a mix of lemonade and iced tea that he would take on the golf course with him in a thermos. Palmer helped turn golf from a country club pursuit to a lucrative sport with his dominant and distinctive style. Now let's go to the newsroom with Matador News with reporter Lucas Talbott to fans' reactions on Dodger legend Vin Scully's last game.
Sunday was an emotional day for the Los Angeles Dodgers and their fans. Not only did the Dodgers clinch the division title, but they also got to say goodbye to Vin Scully. The 88-year-old called his last game at Dodger Stadium.
The Dodger fan, one of the 6 senses, you hear, so through the sound of his voice, it personified Dodger baseball with his voice for over 67 years. So,
favorite memory was when he announced the no-hitter of Clayton Kershaw. That was really memorable for me. So yeah, and show like real emotion when he's announcing like big wins or something like really memorable that happens, and try to have that like same dedication that Vin Scully has. And
he is going to be a walk-off hero.
The Dodgers will play 6 more games at San Diego and San Francisco. Vin Scully will make his last trip to the Bay Area. Now let's go to Zaida Diaz with the latest in business.
Millions of people are watching the presidential candidates, and the cable TV networks are raking in the money. Data from SNL Kagan from the Global Market Intelligence says Fox, CNN, and MSNBC will accumulate about $2 billion in gross sales for the 2016 calendar year. The Wall Street Journal says CNN is selling election night and packages for up to $1 million. Advertisements can reach $200,000 for a 30-second clip. But the presidential candidates are spending $2 billion less on television advertisement than expected. Snapchat is debuting their video recording spectacles and is changing its name to Snap Inc. to incorporate their new product. The spectacles can record up to 10 seconds and at a time and will send snaps wirelessly to the mobile app to be viewed. Unlike Google's Glass device, which failed when it was released in 2013, Snap's spectacles are simple, more wearable and cheaper. They are priced at $130 and will be available in the colors black, teal, and coral. They will be available soon on a limited number basis. Consumer confidence reaches an all-time high since the recession. A September survey from the U.S. Consumer Confidence Index says people have better attitudes toward business conditions, personal finances, jobs, and short-term outlook. Almost a third of those surveyed say jobs are plentiful this month and are easier to get. Economists say Americans continue to show support of U.S. economic growth. And now to Lexie with health.
A new report shows the World Health Organization's pollution limits are being exceeded in Southeast Asia, Eastern Mediterranean, and Western Pacific regions. The UN Health Agency says 9 out of 10 people live in areas with bad air quality. An earlier report released in May said 98% of residents in large cities with low and middle income are exposed to the worst air pollution. Weatherly areas have better quality air. Wealthy areas. Bad air quality can contribute to strokes, heart disease, lung cancer, and other problems. The Food and Drug Administration says blood banks in 11 states should start testing for Zika in the next 4 weeks. Zika is being spread via mosquitoes or sexual transmission through South Florida, most of the Caribbean, Central and South America. The CDC says it's found 2,517 cases of Zika in the U.S. The FDA says within the next 12 weeks, blood facilities in all states should be testing donations for Zika. Let's go back to Zaida with the latest in entertainment.
For the first time since 2006, Jerry Seinfeld loses a #1 slot on Forbes' 10 highest paid comedians list. Kevin Hart made almost $88 million between June 2015 and June 2016. That's more than $30 million more than Seinfeld. This is due largely to his tour earnings. Amy Schumer has also had a big year, as she ranks 4th place with earnings of $17 million. She's the only female ever to make Forbes' highest paid comedians list. Drake has released a short action-packed film titled Please Forgive Me, inspired by his triple platinum album, Views. The film's plot pays homage to a 1993 film, Incident Proposal, and stars Drake in the lead role and co-stars Belgian model Fanny Negusha as his girlfriend. It also features new music by Noah Shabib. The film, which was originally supported to come out September 30th, is now available exclusively on Apple Music. Adele has hit diamond status on her latest album, 25, in less than a year of its release. She was presented with a plaque last week at Madison Square Garden. Her album has 10 million sales in the U.S. alone. She will finish her sold-out North American tour in Phoenix at the end of November. Now let's go back to Janette Alvarado for more news.
A little girl in Mississippi decided she didn't want birthday gifts and instead asked for donations. 9-year-old Peyton Burrows wanted people to bring her animal toys, food, and leashes instead of gifts for her. She donated everything to the Southern Pines Animal Shelter to show her love for all animals. Peyton says that it is better to give than to receive and is happy that people agreed to give to the shelter. Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Janette Alvarado.
I'm Amber Partida.
I'm Lexie Smith.
And I'm Zaida Diaz.